All right, how you guys feeling? Everybody feel all right? Hold on, we're going to start that over. I said, how you guys feeling? Everybody feel all right? Say what up to Snoop Lion, everybody. Say what up. All right, this is what we're going to do today. Today is a celebration, in a sense, of my brother right here, Snoop Lion. And I've known this man since he first came out on the scene, since the early 90s. You know, when he first made his appearances on the West Coast. He was saying 187 on the Undercover Cop. We were right there. It was a new storm, a new movement. He ushered in a new era of rap, not just for the West Coast, but for hip hop in general. We called him, where I'm from in Oakland, we call him the Great Equalizer because there wasn't any region of the country that didn't accept him. Even at a time when the country was in turmoil, Snoop was like the person that everybody could go to, that everybody could talk to. How many people know Snoop in here? Just a show of hands. How many people have met him before, interviewed him, or you believe you know him through his music and his work? I think that's a testament to the person that he is. He's not a person that just made a hit record. He's had a hit career. And I want to say thank you to Snoop for just creating this catalog of music that I've been able to enjoy over the past 20 years. So let's give him a round of applause for that first and foremost. And then I could go on for days. You know, I could tell you a story when Snoop came to my house. I was just telling in L.A. and we were recording a project with my partner, DJ King Tech, from the Wake Up Show. We known Snoop from way back in the years. And, man, he came over to our house, and whenever he would come to the house, we'll roll out the red carpet and make him feel like he's at home. And one time he got really comfortable, and he you know, he left the property, but he left us a gift, you know, that, man, we had a guest house, man, that we couldn't really step into for about 2 weeks until we aired out the premises, man. Kids were walking around lightheaded. I mean, it was the animals and everything, man. But Snoop is someone who's transcended not just hip-hop culture. We've seen him in films. We've known him to be a part of projects, movies, books. We've seen him sing with the likes of Willie Nelson. Snoop has been able to appear in many aspects of life and make them into his own. And I think that tradition of who he's been as he turns chapters in his life has continued with this new project that he's doing under his new name, Snoop Lion, Reincarnated. You know, and that's what we're here to celebrate today. His travels, his journey, the experience he had going home to Jamaica and touching down on that realness and just entering a whole new chapter in his life. That's what this music is about. Today we're going to talk to a lot of people that's been around him that helped him put together the project, from the CEO of Vice Media to the far right. We got my man Suroosh. Vice Media, one of the most powerful media companies in the world today, that's done a lot of great work online and offline. And they set the bar really high. Sitting next to him, that man needs no introduction. I mean, he helped rejuvenate the careers of a lot of big artists and further the careers of others, from Usher, from No Doubt, from Beyonce, from Nicki, you know, and now with Snoop Lion. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up to the world famous Diplo, Major Lazer. Right here, this guy right here who actually called me personally, and he always calls me if he needs me. He doesn't hesitate, from Stampede Media, management, and also on what would you be, the co-founder or a doggy? I mean, what would the C? President.
Oh,
Yeah, president. A partner of Doggy Style Records. But if you ever see Snoop, you know, you see his team around him. This dude is the one person who's never changed, and it's always been a part of his foundation. You guys give it up for my man Ted right here, man. And then my brother right here, man. It's just, for me, it's just fun. I might have a slightly different connection to this guy than a lot of people growing up on the West Coast, being in the Bay Area, being in L.A., working on radio stations like KMEL, working on the beat and Power 106 and all these different things we had the opportunity to do. I remember going to, I think it was about 1998, 1999, when we took a trip over to Hawaii, and Snoop and them and Dr. Dre asked me to just join them and kind of help document their reunion concert that they did in Hawaii. You remember that?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, and it was a crazy time. It was some crazy things happening on that island at that time. But I really got a chance to sit down and talk with Dre and hang out with Snoop real thoroughly, without the cameras, without the microphones, and found out that this is one of the realest dudes I've come across in this music business, and I met them all, from Pac, from Biggie, to Snoop, to Jay, 250, to Talib, to Most, Common, everybody. I met them all. This dude is one of the most thorough. I mean, you can see it in his demeanor. Nothing's changed about Snoop. He's only grown and expanded, and now he's expanded to Snoop Lion. And I really want to find out about this Reincarnated project and how it come about, and more importantly, what you learned from that Nyabingi tribe when you went up into to the hills of Jamaica. And what was that definitive moment that made you decide to do this reggae project? And I'd love for you to start talking to us about the project. It's Snoop Lion. Give it up for Snoop Lion.
Ja Rastafari. First of all, I just wanted to thank y'all for coming out, giving me your time and your attention and your devotion. When I make records, I like to come from my heart. I like to make records that feel good to me and records that mean something that's going to really change the world. And on this particular project right here, I had no planning on going to Jamaica, making a reggae record or nothing. It just, the spirit called me. And anytime the spirit calls you, you got to know that it's serious and it's real. So when the spirit called me, it told me to basically find something that was connected towards the Bob Marley spirit, because I've always said that I was Bob Marley reincarnated. And it drew me to Jamaica. I told Ted, I was like, Ted, we need to go to Jamaica because I want to go to Jamaica and do a reggae album. So Ted reached out to Diplo and Major Lazer, and because I didn't know exactly what I wanted to do. I just basically it was just coming to me. Like I say, when the spirit come to you, it don't come to you in full. It come to you in pieces, and you got to want to search and find. So as I'm searching and finding, we putting the team together, and all the right pieces is coming together with the people who gonna document it, the people who gonna produce it, the people who gonna write it. And when I finally get to Jamaica, I finally meet everybody that's on the team, and I gotta basically let them know what I want. And it's not that I wanna become Snoop Dogg on a reggae track. I wanna bury Snoop Dogg and become Snoop Lion. But I didn't know that until I went to the temple of the Nyabingi Center, where the high priest, when I walked in, he asked me what was my name, and I said, Snoop Dogg. And he looked me in my eyes, he said, no more. You are Barhani. You are the light. You are the lion. And from that moment on, it's like I had started to understand why I was there. And we hadn't even recorded one song, but I was taking on all of this information in spirit. So when I finally got to the studio and got with the writers and the producers, they wrote a couple of songs that was really sort of kind of still in the lane of Snoop Dogg. So I had to basically tell them that the spirit I was looking for, the tone, the delivery, and the sound. And they all got together and wrote some of the most amazing songs that I've ever been a part of, songs that I've never been able to perform, because I've always wanted to perform for kids and my grandmother and, people around the world who really love me that can't really accept the music that I made. And this reggae music is a music of love, happiness and struggle. And now I get a chance to perform, for kids and my grandparents and, just make music that feels good to me. Not that the music in the past never felt good. It always felt good because it was who I was and it is who I am. But now, as a 40-year-old man in the music industry, and, the artists call me Uncle Snoop, I got to give them something now. I can't just keep taking them to the dead-end street and dropping them off. I got to teach them how to fish. I got to teach them how to plant. I got to teach them how to grow. And That's what you do when you become wise. So I'm a wise man in the music industry. Not that I'll never do rap again because I'm gonna always, do what I love. But right now I'm Snoop Lion and I'm having fun with this reggae movement. So hopefully you guys will enjoy it as well.
I want to see if Ted. I mean, because I'm looking. You spoke of your team. Well, first, let me go back to that experience in the temple. You talk with the high priest. Does this mean are you gonna fully convert, or in terms of the roster ways, or you gonna how are you gonna implement that in your life from this point forward?
Well, one thing I learned about Rastafari, it's not a religion, it's a way of life. It's a livity. And it's the way you live. It's the way you do what you do. And I felt like I've always been Rastafari. I just didn't have my third eye open. But it's wide open right now, so it is what it is.
Let me ask you in this out. Well, we'll come back to that. Well, Ted, I want to talk about the partnerships that was formed that you guys had to put together to put this project together because it's a documentary that we're going to show a clip of as well at some point. But working with Vice, how did the partnerships come along, and how were you able to put this project together?
Well, I think it, like Snoop said, everything was serendipitous. So, um, from the way that Snoop had an initial kind of gut instinct and the spirit called him to do something different and called him to Jamaica. We had worked with Diplo in the past before, and we always stay in touch. And I knew that with Major Lazer, he had been out to Jamaica a few times. He knew the landscape, he knew the musicians. So just gave him a call, asked him if he wanted to join us on the journey, and he came on immediately. About a week after that, had a meeting out here in New York with Vice Media about a separate project, and I just shot it out to Suroosh that we were going to Jamaica with Major Lazer, and would you be interested in filming it? Because we had seen, Snoop and I had watched their documentary Heavy Metal in Baghdad on the tour bus before, so I knew that they had familiarity with music documentaries. And Suroosh was like, I'm not really sure what we're going to be doing out there, but Snoop in Jamaica sounds like an awesome combination. So he signed on immediately on board, and everything just kind of fell into place from the writers that got involved, like Angela Hunt right here, to Ja Don, to Moon, and Dre Skull and Ariel, who came as with Major Lazer and Diplo. Everything just kind of was, put in place by a higher power almost. Even this event today and the documentary trailer we're going to show, that's how it all fell into place.
I just want to acknowledge the lion Rohan Marley is in there. Give him a round of applause. Yes, yes. The Queen Melanie Fiona is here in the back as well. Um, were you? Can I address a question to Rohan? Is that okay? Okay. Snoop or any artist coming to Jamaica, and I mean this in the most respectful way, Snoop, um, to take in the culture and as produce an album and want to come into reggae music. Um, the, Initially, is there ever like the resistance to that? When you hear, okay, somebody wants to come here, are they going to take from our culture? Are they going to give back? Do people, do people rebel against that? Do you think?
Well, well, first and foremost, greetings everyone, blessed love. You see, music in general, is universal, So remember, Jamaica is a part of music as well, So we really don't separate ourselves, and we embrace Snoop, and not only through music but through a divine order, because you see, it's all about life and what you have to give. So once you're gonna profess a positive vibration and give back to the earth and the land and the people and be an instrument of good, we receive that well, what I mean? So we love Snoop from day one, and we always will love Snoop, and we love the work that he's doing now, and we love Snoop Lion.
That's what's up,
Right.
Snoop Lion. Okay, Diplo. Let's get that man a mic too. What when they first reached out to you? to do this project? What was your first initial reaction, and what did you envision? Because I know you played him some demos of some music
Yeah.
that you were doing already, correct?
Exactly. I think that when Ted reached out to me, I'd worked with Snoop before. I'm a huge fan, like everybody in this room. But I was playing him some of the demos from our new project, like we played Get Free earlier, kind of like our culture reggae records, and that was the direction we were going into, like real reggae music. And of course, I didn't know what Snoop wanted. I didn't know if he was going to do dance hall or if he was going to do West Coast style in Jamaica. But he loved the records we were doing, and he wanted to do real reggae music. He wanted to sing and find a new voice, and make good music. And I was about that because that was the direction we went in with the new Major Lazer project. And I think of course, just having opportunity to work with him and to work on the whole album, because that's a dream for a producer, to work on an entire record where you have a message. Because I've always worked on a song here or a song there, but to work on an entire record is very rare to do that with an artist nowadays. And I think this was a perfect opportunity. And I think when we had the team down there, which is Angela, Jadan, Moon, and my team, Ariel and Draco, the chemistry was amazing. Like we wrote, I think the first day, like the energy was crazy. He had just been with the Vice crew out to the temples and had visited Jamaica for the first time on the ground. I know he'd performed there before, but I could tell the experience was much different. I mean, from Ted's point of view, he was like, "Yo, Snoop's not even bringing his video games right now," and that was like that was a big deal in the camp. Like, those rumors, like, "Yo, something's about to happen." Yeah. So, and then I didn't realize how serious that meant, but he was out there, like, and he took a lot of pride in the records, and all I want to say is that the music that we wrote all together is some of the best I've been part of, and I think that the message that Snoop wants to bring is about positivity and records that are universal, and it's not about politics or this direction or that direction. It's about good music, and it's a dream come true for a producer to make a record like that feels like that. That's for everybody, you know.
You work with a lot of different artists. Was that the primary difference in the work environment? It wasn't about, you work with a Beyonce or a Usher.
Yeah.
You're dealing with a lot of, not because of them necessarily, but you're dealing with a lot of politics, a lot of pressure. What was explain some of the differences of working with a Beyonce than working with a Snoop?
I mean, in this day and age, the market is defined by having hit songs and staying in fashion and in the lane of what's hot. And this record was about the main goal was to make good music, which is something you never hear from a label or artist or anybody, And there's no label here. It was Snoop putting together the project himself with Ted, and that's 100% creative control. It just doesn't exist anymore. So for me, that's the biggest difference. All the artists I've worked with, I've had a great time. Like whether it was Usher, MIA, Santi Gold, Wiz Khalifa, anybody, I've had a great time. But to put a project together and envision like an entire package like this, I never had that opportunity, So the closest I had was maybe with MIA or somebody. But this is like I'm part of every record on the album, and we're on the same way. We know what the goal is going to be, and that is really unique. So. That's why I wanted to be part of it from day one.
As a producer, did you ever have to tell Snoop that lyric was whack or something? Did you ever have to correct him or?
No, I think he has a pretty good taste.
He
in
got
lyrics
pretty good taste
and in music, but I definitely know that it was always a balance. Like we had conversations. I mean, when you're a producer and you're an artist, you got to be diplomatic about when you make a record, and he's very open-minded, and he also is very smart. He knows what he wants to make in these records, and I think that I don't think he's worked with Angela or Jadan before this time, maybe in other ways, but the chemistry was just crazy. Like, it was really like everybody, we just made great records. I mean, we went back and forth with him on lyrics a bunch of times until we got it right, but that always happens. This time it didn't take that many times, but we all knew what the goal was, I think, and I think the chemistry was what made the record. You'll hear what we were doing. I mean, I'm really proud of it.
La 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 that's the official first single, right? Correct. All right. Explain that song, La La La. How would you describe that song, Snoop and Diplo?
Well, to me, it's an introduction to what you're about to receive, but it's fun. It's not too heavy, but it's still a reflection of where it started. If you listen to it, it sounds like some early reggae music. And we wanted to keep it like, with that sound on it, with that dirty and that grittiness of not really, being so commercialized. We wanted to make it feel like it was a record that came out of a 1970s collection, and it just had some a new twist on it. And that's what we searching for. We were searching for true reggae music. You know, a lot of times, you know, when we do what we do as artists, we look forward instead of looking back. And when you look back, you pay homage and you give respect and love, and that's what this record is all about. It's about paying homage and giving love to those who created reggae music and what it was made on and what it was made for.
Yeah, I think that this record came up. I don't know. I'm not sure how we chose this to be the first single, but the vibe of it kind of encapsulates the whole record, and you know, has great backing vocals. Snoop's voice is out there. It kind of has an introduction to Snoop singing for a lot of people. He sang on, you know, Sexual Seduction and some other records, but this is the whole record is going to be, you know, Snoop with a new voice. So this record represents that, and we sampled an old record, Ken Booth, Archibella, kind of show respect to the old reggae productions and the records that we love. And if you listen to the lyrics, because there's a lot of like double meanings in the lyrics of this record, you can see kind of where we're going with the album, and the main goal is about just records that people can really feel, and not just about, you know, things that are gonna jump off in the club and what's gonna be hot for the radio. It's really like I said again, like an album that we can be proud of, and this song is a good breakout for that.
All right, Suroosh, Vice, you guys have been following Snoop for quite some time.
Well, I mean, Vice has been going for 17 years,
Yeah.
and so we kind of, you know, grew up with Snoop on some level with his records that he'd been putting out.
Now you've been documenting. Did you guys document the making of the album and his journeys to Jamaica?
Yeah, so, you know, the whole thing came from a conversation with Ted where he kind of threw this idea out. And I mean, to be totally honest, when I first met with Ted, I actually thought, what could possibly come from a meeting with Snoop's manager for Vice? Because, you know, Snoop is such an iconic kind of mega star who sold 35, 50, 60 million records, whatever it is. And we make documentaries in conflict zones. And, you know, but Ted, you know, came to my office and he was very persistent. And he said, we're going to go down to Jamaica. This is going to be something different for Snoop. And so like Ted said, I didn't know what we were signing up for. I thought maybe we'll film 20 minutes and it'll be some like extra online viral assets that will go alongside the album whenever it comes out. After being in Jamaica for 3 or 4 days with Snoop and the whole team on, you know, Ted's team and Wes's team and my own team, I realized after about 3 or 4 days, we're making a feature-length documentary here, and this is amazing because it was not what I was expecting at all. It was a new set of challenges for us trying to document what Snoop was doing, and it's turned into it's a real challenge to tell Snoop's journey from, you know, back in the day, 213, Doggy Style, up to now. And Snoop was very open. I think it took some time to gain his trust. And after that, he saw what we were trying to do, and he opened up to us. And, I mean, we're really proud of what we filmed down there.
Yeah.
And so I went in thinking, you know, what could possibly come of this? And we've come out with an amazing partnership between Snoop and Ted and Vice. And I think there was, even though we're, you know, from different places, I think we had a similar worldview, and that was a real surprise and like the most, again, very serendipitous in a way. We've been outliers and outside the system and rebels in media, and that's exactly what, you know, Snoop has been doing for his entire career, doing things by his own rules. And for whatever reason, we kind of gelled together in this amazing way. And then we, you know, created this feature-length doc and submitted it to the Toronto International Film Festival. And this is where I'm going to pass the mic back to Snoop so he can talk about what happened after we submitted.
Congratulations. Wow, that's big.
Thank you very much.
Yes.
No, they accepted us, so we get a chance to, you know, display our movie at the film festival this year. It's a great thing to be able to put out a documentary that shows, you know, the transformation and the reincarnation at the same time. So it's a beautiful experience. Like I said, I'm happy to be working with these guys up here and their whole team and everybody that helped put this project together because um, when you get where I'm at in the music industry, it comes a point where you say, you know, either I've done it all or there's really not much more to do. But this was like a rebirth for me to where it feels like I'm 19 to 20 years old again, like I can do 20 more. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is. I feel good about it. Jah Rastafari.
Did you just real quick? You said something really interesting. We were talking upstairs, and I want you to explain it. At surface, it might shock some people, but you said you got tired of rap, right?
Yeah.
What did you mean by that?
What I meant by that is that, you know, I've been making rap since 1985, right? And I've been pretty good at it. Had a long career in rap, been on top, been the greatest, one of the greatest, top 5, top 10, all that. And it's just to a point where it's like when you win so many accolades for a certain thing that you've mastered, you want to try things that's different. And it just seems like reggae music was calling on me because it was something that I always had in my music. If you listen to my early rap music, I've always made reggae references. I've always had sounds of me sounding like I was Rastafari. You know, so it was like now that I'm able to really fall off into it and really do it, it's like it's breath of fresh air and it's a challenge at the same time because rap is not a challenge to me, and with no disrespect, and don't take it the wrong way, but they can't fuck with me in rap. So it's like I had enough of that. You know what I'm saying? To where it's like it's not appealing to me no more. I don't have no challenges. It's like I'm Uncle Snoop in rap. You know what I'm saying? When you get to be an uncle, it's like you need to find a new profession so you can start over and become fresh again. I want to be a kid again. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to grow up.
You don't want to be Uncle Snoop. Is that to say you're never gonna make another rap album?
I didn't say that.
Okay.
I'm still Snoop Dogg.
Okay.
I'm gonna still do what I do, but I'm just saying this Snoop Lion Burhani, you know, reggae experience is such a breath of fresh air. It feels so good. It's a journey, and I'm loving it right now. I don't want to come off the roller coaster, and I'm gonna ride it out. You know, I'm gonna ride it all the way out.
I think Ted, you want to do the honors?
Yeah,
What
sure. You know, as Sway introed and Suroosh kind of nodded at, we are an official selection for the Toronto Film Festival. We just found out yesterday. And, you know, so we'd like everyone and Snoop's fans to know that. Reincarnated is a 3-step process. It's basically the album, a film, and an amazing photo book that was shot by renowned Los Angeles photographer Willie T, which you might have seen some of the photos hung up in the record store of Massili's. But without further ado, we should cue the trailer and let everyone enjoy it.
Boom, 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 bam, boom, boom, bam, boom, boom. My life is in stages, you know what I mean?
We, the jury in above entitled action, find the defendant, Calvin Brodus, not guilty of the crime of murder in the first degree.
Whether it's me performing live on stage,
Let me hear you say Snoop Dogg.
or me going through stages in life. That's what my life has always been based on. And that's what forced me to find a new path.
Snoop Dogg is still in Jamaica, observing and participating in authentic Jamaican culture.
Oh, the bodyguard's on return.
I've been on the top ever since I've been in it. I got rap songs that will never die. And that ain't with no disrespect, but tired of rapping. I want to do a record, a whole record, no rapping. Fuck Snoop Dogg. Don't think about none of the shit he rapped about, hustling and making money and drug dealing and shooting. All that shit to be out of here.
Show no fear, ayy. We
I didn't just want to come here and say I made a record in Jamaica and grew some dreadlocks. Rastafari called me.
And if you hear me, come and join the revolution.
Finally made it to paradise.
Bless up Snoop Lion.
You can't say love you one to another. For him that love it, love that.
You don't feed me, brother. Oh shit, man.
Come hear some of this California one time. Calm your nerves.
Been around the world and back again. Feel so good, gotta let me in. Power to the people on the fist of rain. Here comes the king.
Yo, congratulations. I got a few friends, Rob Markman, Jason Rodriguez, Shaheem Reed, Chuck Creekmer, they and Ramon Dukes. They want to know if can we go back to Jamaica with you and had that same exact experience. you know, what was that experience like, man? I mean, really, did you have an out of body experience when you hung with the Rastas and you heard that Naya Bingy beat? And
You know what? I had my lovely wife with me too, and this was like this was crazy, man, because this is my backbone. My wife is my backbone, right? So everything I ever been through in life, she's always been there for me, and to have her there with me, going through that, seeing me get baptized, seeing the Rastas like just basically just give me history on who I am and, give me direction on where I need to be going, and her to be right there with me receiving it and, being my backbone or whatnot. It was a beautiful experience, man. It was like, as I look at it, like I can't really watch it in front of people because I tear up a lot. So it's like, it's real emotional for me, man, because it's not for fun, it's for real, man. It's like when you finally accept something that's really who you are, it's wholesome, man.
Was there anything about the experience that shocked you? Because if you go around the world, especially in the States, there's a lot of stigma that's put on being Rastafarian. It's a lot of ignorant views, about what that truly really means and where its origins come from. What was anything that that you saw that you would go back and say, hey, man, it's not exactly what you think. It's just something that stands out about that experience.
I mean, everybody gonna have their own personal views on it, but you have to look at the elders who had to struggle to even say Rastafari. I mean, this thing is deeper than music. It's, like I said, it's a way of life, and it is what it is. And when I finally got up on it and got information, it made me want to fall more in love with it and just to get more information and try to better myself and better the people around me. Because one thing about me, I'm a natural leader, so when I do right, it makes people around me want to do right. If I do wrong, I can make a nation of people do wrong. So it's like, this awakening was necessary. I don't even know why. I don't know how. It was never planned. I thought I was going to make another gangster record. I thought I was going to do another pimp album. I thought I was going to do what I do. But this called me, and it put all of that to rest, to where now I can breathe and I can do what I love doing. And like I say, I have a song on my record that I want to talk about right now just because it's called No Guns Allowed. And it's so real with so much shooting and killing going on, in this world. And nobody never speaks on it until it happens. And I'm tired of it. And we made this record No Guns Allowed because I've always wanted to make a song that could stand for something, that could really mean something. And it's so tragic that people are still doing stupid, things with guns. And I feel like it should be no guns allowed because it is what it is, man. I had to say that. The spirit made me say that because that's one particular moment on my record that I know is going to stand out to people, and it is supposed to. And that's what this journey did for me. It helped me tap into something that I've never been able to. I could never make a song called No Guns Allowed because I'm supposed to be a gangster, and we got to keep one on us at all times. It's better to be caught with than without, so to speak. But after looking at the world for what it is now and my kids and life and all of the things that go on in life, I feel like it should be no guns allowed.
Right, man. I'll give you a round of applause for that, man. Um, a lot of, a lot of.
Sway, I want to say something real quick
Oh
about
yeah,
about that,
absolutely.
just because he doesn't. I don't think Snoop's even giving it justice. Some of the songs we worked on this record actually like give me and Angela's like in almost tears right now. Like some of the songs like give us goosebumps. I'm not even joking. I think that I've worked on a lot of records, but there's something magical about being in Jamaica and the chemistry that we had and the records that we made. That it was actually everybody was. It felt like a emotion there. It's real. It's not like easy to talk about, but the records I'm super proud of the records we made and the messages that we had, and they really do. Like they make our the skin and the hair stand up on our shoulders and our arms, and this you guys will hear some records today that are really like heartfelt and deep and mean a lot to us. So. And I think it's got a lot to do with being in Jamaica and the message that the history that we have with the music there. And I just wanted to say that. So.
Absolutely, man. I can't wait to hear the records, and we're gonna also open the floor for you guys to ask questions. You need some tissue? You all right? You need some tissue? Okay. If anybody got any tissue, if you could hand that up front. And then while that tissue is coming up, all right. There were a few things that were spawned because of this project. Namely, one of the things you guys had started was Mind Gardens. And, Ted, if you could explain, like, what's the concept behind Mind Gardens? What is a Mind Garden?
I want to say something. First of all, the reason why we got with Mind Gardens is because when I went to Jamaica, I seen a lot of poverty. I seen a lot of poor people, and I seen a lot of people not eating. And I didn't want to just come out there and steal music, steal the culture, and run back to America and get rich off of it. I wanted to come back and find a way to do something to help those who wanted to help themselves. And one thing about the people of Jamaica, they're not lazy. And if you give them opportunity, they will make it happen and they will get out and do something. And I wanted to come back and give them opportunity to do something and make something and something that could be theirs. And me and Ted ran into a real friend of ours with a lot of big moves and big things going on. And Ted gonna tell you who he is and what he do and what we gonna do for Jamaica in a real way.
So, as Snoop said, obviously he has a lot of fans everywhere around the world and in high places. And we were in Vegas, and he ran across John Paul DeJoria, who's the owner of Patron and Paul Mitchell Hair Care Products. And they were talking, and Snoop shared with him the awesome experience that all of us had in Jamaica together. And from that, an idea spawned in conjunction with his JP's Peace, Love, and Happiness Foundation called Mind Gardens. And basically what Snoop and JP, along with the support of Vice, Major Lazer, and Stampede Management are doing, are creating self-sustainable gardens in Trenchtown and in Tivoli Gardens, two places where Snoop visited and had a lot of time to really immerse himself with the people and the communities. These self-sustainable gardens will be growing fruits and vegetables according to the Nyabingi Rastafarian diet, and to create fruit juice for the junior high school kids in those areas. That project is in development now. A team of all of ours just went down to identify the sites and meet with the Nyabingi Rastafarians, and 2013 first quarter is when it will launch.
Congratulations. Congratulations, man. This is what we want to do. We want to open up the floor for questions. You guys have any direct questions, just raise your hand. They'll give you a mic. And then also, if you see these vinyl right here, these 12-inch La La La, well, not 12-inch, but these vinyls for La La La. It's just, how unusual is it to see vinyl, man? You know,
45.
45.
Remember the 45?
I forget, man. It's been so long.
You got something at Granny House. Quit playing.
You know, I got time. I got stacks. Everybody's going to receive one. There's some significance. Only 1,962 were made because in 1962,
50 years.
You know, Jamaica celebrates 50 years of independence, August 6th. So that's a round of applause.
Yeah, man.
Yes.
50 years.
Yes.
Ja Rastafari.
All right, so let's take some questions. Wait, hold up. You know, you got panelists, would you like to say anything else? Suroosh, you want to say something real quick?
Yeah, I just want to add that, you know, the the film working on this and the opportunity for Vice to be able to work with Snoop has been an absolutely amazing thing for us. And, you know, there were a lot of people that were involved in this, and Andy's back here. He's the director of the film, Andy Capper. I just wanted to give a shout out to him, and Littlehead, aka Littlehead. He's the global editor of Vice, and Kadeen Williams, she's awesome. Yeah, exactly. She's our VP of Finance, but she's also Jamaican, so she came down and she helped us navigate through Tivoli, and she got us Bunny Whaler, and she was just awesome down there. So it was like a real special experience, and this project, I think it's going to be, if you look at it from a business perspective, it's this like multi-platform, media entity that's going to have a very, very long life. And what's awesome about it is that it's important on so many different levels, but the intentions were really pure. I think we all kind of went down there like, I don't know, this just sounds like a good idea and the vibe's going to be good. And it's February in New York and it's be cold, so let's go to Jamaica. And out of it came this whole thing. So I just wanted to add that.
That's what's up. We're streaming all around the world right now. If you ever get a chance, we want to thank Miss Lilies for even hosting this. So let's give them a round of applause.
Sir.
132 West Houston Street.
Hello, Miss Lilies on the map.
Get the
right
finest West Indian cuisine there is, Miss Lilies.
Miss Lilies.
Okay. So let's open the floor for questions. You need a mic? Yeah.
Your name and your neighborhood, cuz. Say
Hey,
where you
Steve
from.
Bloom, Hollywood reporter, celeb stoner, and High Times magazine.
Hello.
What up? No disrespect to the team here, but Rowan's here, and you talk about being Bob Marley reincarnated. Was there ever any thought to work with the Marley team to put this together?
Well, you know what? The Marleys blessed me because I gave them information on me doing this project a while back before I started on it, just to get their blessings, to make sure that they understood that, I was coming home. I've always been their brother, but for them to see me come home, it was like our brother has finally awakened. He's really with us now, because whenever we see each other, it was always love and a baby, but now we on the same page. We ride in the same car, and it's like they could never tell me to come in. They could only show me, and by showing me the righteous way, and every time we see each other, it was something that was always making our love bond. From '97, when I first laid eyes on the first one, you know what I'm saying, to right now, today, when I'm looking eye to eye with one right here, right now, it's always been love. That's what it's going to always be. Like I told you, I'm Bob Reincarnated. Believe it.
Hey, Snoop, Tyler Gray, Fast Company Magazine. So you talked about some differences between where you were and where you're going now, and some differences between Snoop Dogg and Snoop Lion. What can people carry over from one to the other?
Good music. That's the most important thing, that the music will be good, and it's going to continue to come from the heart. But I think it's going to be more of who I am. And the music that I made as Snoop Dogg is who he was. I was young, I was fly, I was pretty, I was flamboyant, I was the greatest of all time. That's what it called for me to be. But now I'm a grown man with a family, with kids, with wisdom, with guidance and understanding. So it's only right to pass this on.
Hey Snoop, how's it going? This is Justin Hunt with Hip Hop DX.
Nigga, you sound like Don Cornelius, nigga.
I thank my parents every day.
Good looking.
About I guess half a decade ago, thinking about your song No More Guns, half a decade ago you championed Protect the West. The West Coast hip-hop scene seems more unified than ever. Half a decade later, what are your thoughts on your endeavors with Protect the West, and is there a correlation to songs like No More Guns?
Yeah, well, it was a bold move that I made 10 years ago to get all of the rappers together and say, you know what, we're going to be one. But even back then, I knew what I was supposed to do. I knew I was a leader. I knew that they would listen to me. I had enough strength to go into his neighborhood, and they didn't like each other, but I knew how to get them both to come sit down and talk at a table and be men about it. And that's leadership qualities. And today, as I look at it right now, that's why they hail me as the king of the West Coast, as Uncle Snoop, because of the things that I've done to protect the West, to make sure that we have something, to make sure that we don't kill each other and shoot each other and badmouth each other to where the people up top close down the industry and say y'all can't eat in this avenue anymore, because it's still a business. And that's what I try to teach the brothers every day. Me and my brother Rohan was talking that it's more crimes committed with us on us than anybody else. So if we can change a few thoughts and make a few people wake up and say that it's okay to be cool with them, and years later after we had problems with them, that's old and gone with. Let's work on tomorrow. And that keeps us alive and keeps us strong and keeps us healthy and it keeps us one and it keeps us growing. And we have to keep that alive for our youth, for our generations that's coming after us. You know, remember when you was a kid and you was aspiring to be someone, it was always somebody that inspired you, and we have to be that because we've been given the light. I'm Berhani now, so my light will continue to shine.
Hey Snoop, how you doing? Chuck Creekmer from allhiphop.com.
What up, Chuck?
I just wanted to ask you, we have a lot of artists, rap artists in particular, hitting 40 and up, you know, and most recently Nas released his album, Life is Good, which is kind of like an adult contemporary hip-hop. Do you feel there's a place for you in that aging of hip-hop?
Well, one thing about me, I've always been able to get down with the young ones, the best of them, the rest of them, the east, west, south. It don't matter because I'm an entertainer, so I know how to make my thing fit to any style of music, whether it's the new thing, the youngsters is doing this. I know how to make my thing fit. And once you know how to make it fit, you can cook in anybody's kitchen. So I don't have to try to, you know, be what I'm not. It's all about the expression of making it feel good. Anytime I make music, it's got to feel good before I even say I want to get on it.
Hi, I'm Sarah Fulton from MTV Voices, which is MTV International's social responsibility brand. And we're doing a whole campaign around role models, heroes, and experienced influences. If your mature reggae artist, Snoop Lion self, could give one piece of advice to your fly, new to the industry, young self, what would it be?
Do your thing and don't stop doing it till you get to this page, because that's what makes me who I am, is my struggle and my testimony and the things that I went through. I could never become Snoop Lion if I was never Snoop Dogg. Snoop Dogg is the creation of Snoop Lion. Snoop Dogg created Snoop Lion, but Snoop Lion is the elevation of Snoop Dogg.
Okay. So what we're gonna do? We're gonna play some music. You guys hang out, some good food. I want to thank everybody who tuned into our live stream. Okay, Ted, the entire panel, Diplo, good to see you. Suroosh, good to see you. Snoop Lion.
Yeah, man.
I'm looking forward to the project, Reincarnated. You know, let's give them all a round of applause. And let's hang out and enjoy this energy and enjoy this vibe.